Hi everyone, this is Kelly Smith and I'm pleased to be sharing with you some information, insight, and research on digital communication. I picked this topic because I wanted to know more about it. Yes, I know the tools, but I wanted to know how learning is impacted by these tools. And I found some fascinating information. Let's take a look.
What is digital communication? There are a few definitions of this term. Certainly, it's the electronic exchange of information. But it also involves being able to access this information or other users instantly. The tools are commonplace. They include hardware, like cell phones, smart devices, and computers. And they include tasks like texting, chatting, social media, and file sharing.
Now, I purposely spelled this in text writing here, but I have some interesting facts I want to share with you.
Guess where the number one place that kids ages 2 through 11 go to on the internet? Why, it's YouTube, of course. Are adults the only ones who use their smartphones to access the web? Nope, teens do as well. And you might want to think about how much filtering occurs on these devices. Reading and writing. What about reading and writing? Researchers have found a growing discrepancy between the types of reading and writing taught in school, that which is more traditional, versus the types of reading and writing accessed in social media and texting. Imagine the 5-paragraph essay versus the 140-character tweet. So let's hear a little more about the research. I read both descriptive and experimental studies as well as journal articles. All were about the use and effect of digital communication in learning. I found some interesting themes. Let's take a look. First of all, digital communication is a foundational skill. That means it's important for the social development on a personal, educational, and professional level. Second, being effective in these skills means that you can make persuasive arguments in multiple types of media. Learning is inherently mobile. You learn across space, learning one thing and applying it to another. You learn across time, using prior knowledge as a framework. You move from topic to topic. Your life doesn't have just one curriculum, right? You have many personal projects in development at once. The final theme I want to share with you involves school response. Researchers are finding that most schools are not teaching digital communication skills. And this is more than just internet safety and anti-bullying. We're talking about appropriate behavior and so much more. For example, students need to know how to evaluate websites, how to match a technology tool for a task at hand for an audience at hand, and how their tone and persona matter to an online and very public world. These are all things that schools can be teaching, but are often avoiding or even banning. What message does that send? Texting is bad? The internet is dangerous? YouTube is evil? But this might be my life outside of school, a child may say. And my parents do it too.
before we delve more into the barriers of digital communication, let's look at the affordances.
No doubt technology is engaging. It is visually rich, interactive, and instantaneous. Likewise, it's convenient. Smartphones are basically computers. You can carry them around anywhere and access most things and most places 24/7. I love this word, learner-tailored. It basically means it is driven by the learner, the user. Want differentiated instruction? Use technology. It is collaborative, with many users, some distant, some unknown. One of the studies I read talks about a, quote, new writing called interactive written discourse, saying that writing is no longer a solitary activity. This is very exciting and has so many possibilities for student growth and learning. The last affordance I want to highlight is identity. Students use digital communication tools to express themselves creatively, earn status, like with Facebook friends, and find their voice. In my own experience with Edmodo in the classroom, I noticed that my number one shyest student became the most vocal student online. Barriers. We know about these. Cheating. Inappropriate content. Nielsen did a study and found that nearly 1 in 20 teens viewed drug-related videos online during a 1-month period. 35% were under the age of 16. Inappropriate conduct. This calls for maturity and understanding that this is a public forum, no matter how secure you think it is. Even if you email a crazy picture with a friend, how do you know they won't post it or send it around? Cyberbullying has many sad consequences these days. Technology can be a distraction in the classroom. Checking email, texting, alert noises, playing around with superficial things like aesthetics, wallpaper, screenshots, fonts, etc. Not all kids have access to these tools.
Now let's look at a few scenarios. These are scenarios that I have professionally experienced before, and these can happen in the classroom.
A teacher has students bring their laptops to class to take notes. He noticed that instead of taking notes, a majority of students are customizing their desktop, playing around with fonts, showing their neighbors a recent photo of their dog. Citing that this class is too immature to handle using their machines efficiently, he bans the use of all technology in his classroom for the rest of the school year. The second scenario, I'm sure you'll agree, has a more positive conclusion. A teacher reads about the use of blogs in the classroom. She decides to use a blog for a collaborative project. That evening, she notices that a few students engage in unkind comments to each other. The next morning, the teacher talks with the class about online commenting. They brainstorm appropriate comments and come up with a list of standards. This mishap becomes a teachable moment. So what can we learn from all of this? First of all, educators need to embrace digital communication. It's here and it's not going away. Second, skills must be taught. Not just to kids, but to parents, and teachers as well. Great resources I found for parents and teachers can be found at commonsensemedia.org and theantidrug.com.
This concludes my presentation. References can be found on kellysmith6.weebly.com/570-assignments.html.